Welcome to Top Gear. Today we're turning our attention away from the roads and skies and straight toward the seas, where a legendary name has returned in spectacular fashion. This isn't just any ship. This isn't just steel, weapons, and engines combined. This is a name that echoes through naval history, a name that stood as a guardian of the free world in its most dangerous hours, and a name that has now been reborn for a new century. Today, we present the rebirth of an icon, the 2026 USS Washington BB-56. Now, if the name sounds familiar, it should. The original USS Washington, launched in 1940, was one of the great battleships of World War II, a vessel that earned respect and fear in equal measure. She fought with courage, survived brutal encounters in the Pacific, and represented the very heart of naval power in her time. And like all great legends, she eventually passed into history, her guns silenced and her decks left behind as the age of battleships gave way to aircraft carriers and nuclear submarines. But in 2026, the Washington rises again, not as a museum piece, not as a relic of the past, but as a fully reimagined battleship designed for the modern age. This is not a simple reboot. It is not nostalgia dressed in steel. It is a forward-looking redefinition of what a battleship means in the 21st century. A fusion of heritage and cutting-edge innovation, the Washington has been reborn to inspire awe in allies and caution in adversaries. In this review, we'll dive into everything that makes the 2026 USS Washington a marvel, its design and aesthetics, the immense performance hidden within its nuclear-powered heart, the advanced safety and technology systems that make it virtually untouchable, and finally, the larger meaning of its return to the seas. So, strap in, because today we're not reviewing a car or a bike. We're reviewing a warship that carries the spirit of history, the technology of tomorrow, and the unmistakable presence of a legend. Design and aesthetics. The first thing you notice when the 2026 USS Washington looms into view is scale. This ship is massive, stretching nearly 1,000 feet from bow to stern, and yet every inch has been carefully sculpted with purpose. Where the battleships of the past stood tall with towering superstructures and exposed guns, the Washington takes a different approach. It is stealthier, sleeker, and sharper. From a distance, the hull appears to blend into the sea itself, painted in a striking new gray-blue composite coating that shifts in tone depending on the light. This isn't just for looks. The paint includes radar-absorbing properties, part of the ship's stealth package, making the Washington far harder to track than any battleship that came before it. The old days of gleaming decks and exposed turrets are gone. This ship is designed to disappear from enemy screens before it ever enters firing range. Look closer, and you'll see the design philosophy at work: angular lines, flat surfaces, and a compacted superstructure that rises no higher than necessary. Unlike its predecessors, which seemed to carry their firepower like crowns of steel, the Washington's weapons are integrated into its frame. Vertical launch systems for missiles are flush with the deck, railguns are housed in sleek armored casings, and even the defensive laser turrets are designed to appear almost like extensions of the ship's hull. It's a warship, yes, but it looks like something born from the future, a cross between naval muscle and aerospace engineering. Yet, despite this futuristic appearance, there are echoes of history in the Washington's aesthetics. The bow retains a proud, pronounced curve reminiscent of classic battleship silhouettes. The name Washington is emblazoned across the stern in bold lettering, a reminder that this ship carries a legacy with it. And if you stand on the deck, looking toward the horizon, you get the same feeling sailors once felt on the original BB-56, the sense that this ship was built to dominate the oceans. The deck itself is a study in functionality. Where once rows of sailors might have been required to operate manual guns, now automation rules the day. Hatches open to reveal missile pods, drone launch pads, and aircraft elevators. At midship, a compact hangar has been integrated seamlessly into the superstructure, capable of housing both manned helicopters and unmanned aerial vehicles. It's a versatile platform, equally at home launching reconnaissance drones as it is deploying rescue helicopters during humanitarian missions. Walk inside, and the aesthetics continue to impress. Gone are the dark, cramped interiors of mid-20th century warships. The Washington's interior is sleek, ergonomic, and human-centered. Corridors are wider, lighting is brighter, and every space has been designed with crew efficiency and comfort in mind. The bridge itself is a marvel, a sweeping command center lined with digital displays, holographic projectors, and panoramic windows reinforced with advanced composites. From here, the captain and officers have a 360-degree awareness of the battlefield, enhanced by data streams from drones, satellites, and radar systems. But design is not only about looks or comfort. It's also about resilience. The Washington's hull has been reinforced with layered composite armor, lighter than traditional steel, yet stronger than anything that came before it. This layered defense combines ceramics, carbon fiber, and advanced alloys, making the ship resistant to both conventional projectiles and modern missile strikes. Underneath, the double-hull design ensures that even if one layer is compromised, the ship can continue operating. Even the way the ship interacts with the sea has been rethought. Its wave-piercing hull allows for smoother sailing at high speeds, reducing drag and increasing fuel efficiency, performance and powertrain. If design gives the Washington its commanding presence, then performance is what makes it alive. To understand the Washington, you have to look beneath the waterline, deep into the heart of the ship where engineering and raw power merge into something extraordinary. This is not a warship that relies on size alone. It is a vessel built for endurance, speed, and above all, dominance. At its core lies a next-generation hybrid nuclear propulsion system. Unlike traditional nuclear-powered vessels that rely on reactors alone, the Washington system combines nuclear energy with advanced electric drive technology. This dual system allows the ship to generate enormous amounts of power for propulsion while also supplying energy to the many high-demand systems on board: railguns, lasers, advanced radar, and the vast electronic suites that keep the Washington one step ahead of its rivals. The nuclear system ensures the ship has virtually unlimited range. The Washington can remain at sea for months, even years, without refueling, making it less dependent on vulnerable supply lines. In a world where logistics often determine victory, this endurance gives the Washington a strategic advantage that no conventional vessel can match. Add to that the electric drive system, which delivers smoother acceleration and quieter operation, and you have a ship that is both powerful and stealthy in its movement. Speed has always been a point of pride for battleships, and the Washington does not disappoint. Thanks to its wave-piercing hull and propulsion design, it can achieve speeds of over 35 knots despite its size. That is astonishing for a ship displacing tens of thousands of tons. More importantly, the Washington reaches that speed with stability. Stabilizers and computer-controlled ballast systems ensure that even at maximum velocity, the deck remains steady, weapons remain accurate, and aircraft can still be launched and recovered safely. But performance is not measured in speed alone. It is measured in what the ship can do when called to action. And here, the Washington is unlike anything that has ever sailed before. The first headline feature is its railgun system. Mounted forward and aft, these weapons use electromagnetic force to launch projectiles at hypersonic speeds. Unlike traditional guns, which rely on chemical propellants, railguns are powered entirely by electricity. The result is a weapon that can strike targets over 200 miles away with pinpoint accuracy. The sheer kinetic energy of the projectile is devastating, allowing it to penetrate even the most heavily armored targets. For years, railguns were experimental, plagued by energy demands and wear and tear. On the Washington, with its massive nuclear electric power grid, they have finally become practical, reliable, and battle-ready. Supporting the railguns are vertical launch systems embedded across the deck. These launch cells can fire a wide array of missiles, from long-range cruise missiles to anti-air interceptors and even hypersonic glide vehicles. This versatility allows the Washington to act not just as a battleship, but as a floating arsenal. Whether the mission calls for striking land targets, defending against enemy aircraft, or intercepting incoming missiles, the Washington has the tools to respond instantly. Then there are the lasers. Once considered science fiction, high-energy laser defense systems are now a reality, and the Washington carries some of the most advanced models ever deployed. These weapons provide point defense against incoming threats, including drones, aircraft, and even missile barrages. They operate at the speed of light, firing beams of concentrated energy that can destroy or disable a target in seconds. And because they are powered directly from the ship's reactors, they have effectively unlimited ammunition. In combat scenarios where traditional missile defenses could be overwhelmed, the Washington's lasers add an entirely new layer of survivability. Air power has not been neglected either. Though the Washington is not an aircraft carrier, it has been designed to support both manned and unmanned aerial operations. Its hangar and launch facilities can house helicopters for anti-submarine warfare and rescue missions, as well as a fleet of drones for reconnaissance, electronic warfare, or even precision strike roles. These aircraft extend the Washington's reach beyond the horizon, ensuring it can see and strike farther than its enemies. Below the waterline, the Washington has not been left vulnerable. Its sonar suite is among the most advanced in the world, able to detect submarines at extraordinary distances. Coupled with onboard torpedo launchers and anti-submarine missiles, the Washington can defend itself against undersea threats that once posed the greatest danger to large surface ships. Even its hull has been designed with acoustic stealth in mind, reducing noise signatures to make it harder for enemy subs to track. The sheer versatility of the Washington's powertrain also supports another crucial function: adaptability. Naval warfare is not static. Technologies evolve, threats change, and missions vary. The Washington's modular power system allows for upgrades and retrofits over time. As new weapons are developed, whether advanced drones, more powerful lasers, or exotic technologies we can barely imagine today, the Washington has the power reserves and integration capacity to handle them. In other words, this ship is future-proofed. It is not just built for 2026. It is built for decades to come. Performance also extends to survivability in combat. The Washington carries multiple redundancy systems to ensure it can fight even when damaged. Its reactors are shielded, its power distribution network is layered, and its weapons are spread across the ship to prevent a single strike from disabling its firepower. In addition, its combat information center is buried deep within the hull, protected by layers of armor and designed to operate even in the harshest battle conditions. To put the Washington's performance in perspective, imagine this scenario. A hostile fleet approaches, composed of modern destroyers, cruisers, and submarines. Before they even come within range, the Washington has already deployed drones to scout their positions. Using satellite links and real-time battlefield awareness, it identifies the enemy's formation. Railguns fire, striking targets hundreds of miles away before the enemy has even locked onto the ship. Missiles are launched from vertical cells, guided by AI systems to intercept threats in mid-flight. Enemy aircraft attempt to counterattack, only to be cut down by high-energy lasers. Submarines lurking below are detected by sonar and neutralized with anti-submarine missiles. Throughout it all, the Washington remains in constant motion, faster and more stable than any ship of its size has a right to be. This is not a theoretical exercise. This is the reality of what the Washington can deliver. Of course, performance is not just about battle. It is also about versatility in missions beyond combat. The Washington has the endurance to remain on station for extended patrols, the speed to respond to crises quickly, and the facilities to support humanitarian operations when disaster strikes. Its nuclear-electric heart powers not just weapons, but also desalination plants, medical facilities, and emergency infrastructure that can aid thousands in times of need. This dual nature, warrior and guardian, makes the Washington more than a ship of war. It makes it a ship of influence, capable of shaping outcomes far beyond the battlefield. Ultimately, the performance and powertrain of the Washington represent the culmination of decades of naval engineering dreams. For years, navies around the world wondered if battleships were obsolete. The 2026 Washington answers that question with a resounding no. Battleships are not obsolete. They have simply evolved. And with its hybrid nuclear propulsion, advanced weaponry, and unmatched versatility, the Washington stands as proof that the age of the battleship is not over. It has only just begun again.